back to my YouTube channel, and today we're reacting to another video. Last video, I did not do a reacting video. I did an analysis video on the Houston Rockets, so be sure to watch that. I'm gonna try to make an analysis video once a week. I don't know if it could happen with all these reaction videos, but I'll try. So in today's video, we'll be reacting to Jimmer Range, and this video is gonna be reacting to the biggest draft busts. So yeah, I'm gonna react to biggest draft busts of every NBA team. So let's get into it.
The NBA draft is pretty much unpredictable. Every year, there are selections that will end up being busts. We did the biggest draft steal from every team, so today we're going to do the biggest bust. But if you guys like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's try to get 27 likes on today's video,
maybe
and let's hop into it.
Like the 14th pick or like a bust. Like, that's like not even
now, before getting into this,
that
I need
means
to
you're
make
a
it
good
clear that
drafting
some
team.
teams don't have the true quote-unquote bust. So we have to go with the player closest to them.
Yeah,
so
exactly what I was saying.
We're going to start it off with the Philadelphia 76ers. For the Sixers, it's probably between Alec Burks and Zaire Smith. Alec Burks hasn't been anything crazy since being the 12th overall pick, but by no means has been a bust. It has actually been pretty solid. For this one, I think I got to go with Zaire, who is a very young player and can definitely be solid as his career progresses. But after being the 16th overall pick 2 years ago, has only managed to play in 13 games. For the Milwaukee Bucks, it's got to be Marvin Williams, who's been decent throughout his 15-season career, but hasn't come close to the player the Hawks thought they were drafting with the second overall pick. It's pretty surprising looking back that he was able to go that high in the draft, given he averaged just 11 points a game in college. Throughout his NBA career, he's been a consistent 10 points, 6 rebounds guy, and for now, is the biggest bust on the Bucks. For the Chicago Bulls, I think it's pretty clear, and that's going to be former 5th overall pick in the draft, Chris Dunn. It feels like yesterday that the Timberwolves had one of the most hyped young cores we had ever seen. They had 2 Rookie of the Years, high-flying Zach LaVine, and we're bringing in what was looked at as an elite point guard in the draft with Dunn after his incredible season at Providence. Now, that core's been separated, and while Dunn has been pretty impactful as a defender, to this point, his offensive struggles make him pretty replaceable, which puts him on this list. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's pretty tough. There's a case for Tristan Thompson with how high he was taken in the draft, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Dante Exum. Exum was the 5th overall pick in 2014 and has been a decent defender, but really hasn't done anything offensively, averaging just 6 points, shooting 41% from the field and 31% from 3 since coming to the NBA. So it shouldn't be much of a surprise that he made it on this list. For the Boston Celtics, I think I've got to go with Enes Kanter. Again, another player that's been pretty solid, but we have to choose someone. He's averaged over 11 points in his career, but just hasn't lived up to his draft placement of the 3rd overall pick back in 2011. His closest competition is probably rookie Romeo Langford, so I think you get why I had to go with Kanter. Then we've got the Los Angeles Clippers, and the closest thing to a bust they have is probably Patrick Patterson, who was drafted with the 14th pick in 2010, and since then has averaged 7 points and 4 rebounds a game. For the Grizzlies, I think this one is pretty obvious, and that's former 4th overall pick in the draft, Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson won that 2017 draft in comparison to Kawhi Leonard, and now as just a third-year player has spent time in the NBA G-League. At this point in his career, we can definitely consider him a bust, but I do think he still has a decent career ahead of him. Next up is going to be the Atlanta Hawks, and their biggest bust is probably Skal Labissiere, who at one point was ranked higher according to certain scouting programs than Ben Simmons in high school. Now, he wasn't taken very high in the draft, being just the 28th overall pick, but really hasn't amounted to much so far. Up next is going to be the Miami Heat, and this one's actually pretty tough. It's between Myers Leonard and Kelly Olynyk. It's close, but with Kelly Olynyk being slightly more productive and Myers going 2 selections higher in the draft, I'm going to go with him for now. Then we've got the Charlotte Hornets, who have quite a lot of busts on this roster, or at least fringe bust. There's Malik Monk, who came in with quite a lot of hype, when he went 11th overall in 2017, but in 3 seasons has really struggled.
I had high
from the field.
expectations
There's
for
Cody
this guy,
Zeller,
but
who
he
by no
hasn't
means
been a
has
good
been bad,
defender
but he is in the
whatsoever.
conversation, given he was the 4th overall pick.
And
And then
thought
there's
it would be a
Bismack
good
Biyombo,
offensive
who I think
player,
I have to
and
go
he's
with, given he
not
was the
that
7th
good.
overall pick,
Yep.
and his average
Probably.
just 5
I
points a
think
game across the
Cody
entirety
Zeller, though, 'cause
of his
Cody
career.
Zeller
For the
is a
Utah
4th
Jazz, I
overall
think this
pick,
one's
and he
pretty
was like
clear,
an
and that's going to be
average
former 7th
center.
overall pick,
Not too
Emmanuel
bad,
Mudiay. Mudiay had a lot of attention around
Emmanuel
him going into
Mudiay
the
is, like,
draft
not
after hitting
consistent.
paths,
It's like one of
going
those
overseas
point
after
guards
high
like
school instead of
Dante
college.
Exum.
So far in his career, while he's been a decent piece of some rotations, he's never really amounted to his potential, averaging 11 points, shooting 40% from the field. Now we've got the Sacramento Kings, and it's got to be Alex Len, who going into the 2013 draft was legitimately in the conversation for the number 1 pick, but ended up falling to 5.
I thought he was going to do pretty good.
Since then,
he
he's
said
averaged
he was
just
going to be
8
an
points and
all-star
6
this
rebounds
year,
a
but
game.
he hasn't.
There is quite a lot of options for the New York Knicks, including Alfred Payton, Dennis Smith Jr., and Frank Ntilikina. You can really argue any of them, but I've got to go with Frank for now, who since being the 8th overall pick has averaged 6 points, shooting less than 37% from the field. Without a recent addition, it would be really hard to decide the biggest bust on the Lakers. With them bringing in Dion Waiters, I've got to go with him. Dion Waiters has had a pretty decent career and has really been good in spurts, but given we've got to choose someone, and Waiters was the 4th overall pick, it's got to be him. The Magic has got to be one of the easiest on this list, and that's former number 1 overall pick, Markelle Fultz. He's starting to turn things around, but it's still one of the biggest busts in recent history.
Like,
Since
I
going
feel
number
like
1,
he's playing
he's
so
averaged
good
just
this
10
year,
points
like,
a game
as a
with the
starting
inability
point guard,
to make
like,
a jump
averaging,
shot. The Mavericks is
like,
another easy
12
one, and
points
I
per
honestly
game and
didn't
being
even
a
know
really
this
good
player was
playmaker
now
and
a
defender.
Maverick, and that's former 2nd overall pick, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. He came in with quite a lot of hype
He only
after
averages
winning the
0.4
national
points
championship
per game.
alongside the number 1 pick, Anthony Davis.
That's what
But
I
since getting
heard.
drafted, he's been nothing more than a
And
solid defender,
he has, like,
and as of
fastest
recently,
jump shot
has been
ever.
barely
Like,
holding
what
on to
is
his
this
place
jump
in an
shot,
NBA rotation. The Brooklyn Nets really don't have a clear guy, so I guess I'm going to go with Timothy
He's not a
Luwawu,
good defender.
who since being the 24th
I don't know
overall
who this
pick
guy
has
is,
averaged 6 points, shooting less than 40% from the field.
That's what a 24th
For the Denver
overall
Nuggets,
pick
it's
does.
Noah Vonleh, who was a 9th pick in 2014, but now
Noah
is averaging
Vonleh
just
is, like,
11
not
minutes
good.
and 4 points a game.
He's not good.
The
That was a
Pacers' biggest
mistake.
bust is going to be TJ Leaf, who was carried to the
No,
18th
no,
overall
no,
pick
no,
in the
that's not
2017
TJ
draft
Leaf.
on the back of Lonzo Ball.
Dougie
In his 3 seasons,
McBuckets,
has
have you
averaged
heard of that
just
guy?
3 points a
Have you heard
game.
of that guy? He's
The
6th
Pelicans is
overall
obvious.
pick, bro.
It's a 3rd overall pick in
And
the 2015
he
draft.
averaged 27 points in
Jahlil
college and
Okafor. It's
still
interesting looking back at
didn't
that
translate
draft
to the NBA.
because of
He's
the
only
value
averaging
that
9
Karl Anthony
points in the
Towns was
NBA.
getting, given how the
Jahlil
game was
Okafor is
adapting,
like
but
a
yet
post-up
Okafor
player.
was
He's
still
not
treated
that
as a
good
top
in
prospect.
today's
While he had a
NBA. He
decent
would be
rookie
good
season
for,
and has
like,
adapted pretty well as a role player,
he
he's
would be
still
good
by
in a
far
different
the
era.
biggest bust on
in
that
NBA
roster.
era.
For the Detroit Pistons, it's definitely Thon Maker, who at one point was the 10th overall pick, with some predicting him as a future NBA MVP. Since coming to the league straight out of high school, he's averaged less than 5
Kevin
points a
Garnett
game,
said
shooting
that. Yeah, I think
23%
Kevin Garnett
from
said
the
that, or
field.
someone else.
The biggest bust
I
on the
thought Thon
Raptors
Maker
is
and
easily
Giannis
Stanley
would be
Johnson,
good.
who was originally the 8th overall pick in 2015, and is
Stanley
now
Johnson's
averaging
trash.
less than 5 minutes and 1 point
guy's
a
trash.
game. For the
Come
Houston
on, we can't
Rockets,
even
it's going to
talk
be
about
pretty
that.
close. It's between Austin Rivers and Ben McLemore.
Probably
Austin
Ben
Rivers
McLemore.
was the 10th overall pick
He's
out of
still
Duke
playing
back in
good, though.
2012, and since has been an
And they're
okay
both
rotational
good
guard,
players.
averaging 9 points over his career. Like we talked about with Alex Len, Ben McLemore was legitimately in the conversation to go number 1 overall in 2013.
Ben
Now, I need to make
McLemore
it
went
clear
to the
that that's not
Kings
saying
and
too
was
much,
not
given
that
about
good of a
20 players
drafting team.
were also in that
And
conversation.
now
Hence,
Rockets just
while we saw
took care-
Anthony
like,
Bennett
took
go
care
number
of him.
1
He's, like,
overall,
pretty
but
good now.
nonetheless, he was in the conversation, but ended up going 7th overall. Now, McLemore hasn't reached expectations since coming to the league, but I don't think I can go with him. This season, he's really shown his potential to be a great role player going into the future, averaging 10 points as a 43% three-point shooter on over 6 attempts a
I
game.
guess you could say
This
that.
could just be a product of Houston's system, but I really liked what I've seen. For the Spurs, it's between Jakob Poeltl, who was the 9th pick in 2016, or Trey Lyles, who was the 12th pick in 2015.
Poeltl.
For now, I'm going to go with Jakob, but this is definitely subject to change. Jakob has a lot of potential, especially as a defender, but given he was taken higher in the
He could
draft,
be
and the
like
fact
a Rudy
that Trey
Gobert,
Lyles
but
has been more
Spurs
productive
just,
in
like,
his
not
respective
like a
role,
big one.
that's what I have. For the Phoenix Suns, there's a couple options, but given the scenario surrounding the selection of Frank Kaminsky in the draft, I've got to go with him, with the Hornets passing up on a ridiculous amount of value from the Boston Celtics to take a guy that lasted 4 years on the team as a 10-point and 4-rebound guy. He's got to be on here. He didn't choose the scenario, but it is what it is. Then we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's going to be another member of that 2013 draft, Nerlens Noel, who I think has been a great part of this Thunder rotation, but is, by every definition of the word, a bust. The Minnesota Timberwolves is actually pretty tough. I think I've got to go with Jarrett Culver. Yes, he is just a rookie and 100% should continue to grow and have a great career. But we've got to go based on what we know right now. And this year, after being the 6th overall pick, is shooting 40% from the field and less than 30% from behind the arc. Next up is the Portland Trailblazers, and this is easily Mario Hezonja, who was the 5th overall pick in the draft, and now averages 5 points on pretty terrible efficiency. For the Golden State Warriors, it's Marquise Chris, just one of the massive amount of buzz coming out of Phoenix. He was an 8th overall pick in 2016, and since then has played for 4 teams, averaging 8 points a game. For the last team of the video, the Washington Wizards, it's Jerome Robinson, who a lot of people were shocked the Clippers decided to grab with the 13th pick in 2018. So far, he's averaged less than 4 points a game, shooting 36% from the field and 30% from 3, making that one pretty easy. But that's the video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Which ones will you have changed? And if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And the shoutouts are gonna be